Welcome back to the podcast, guys. It's episode 1115. We still keep count. We are presented by TickPick.com. You ever use TickPick to purchase sporting event tickets?
I haven't used TickPick, but what is TickPick?
Well, Wayne, we have a $20 off code that you could use. OSHOW20, capital OSHOW20 for $20 off your next order using TickPick.com. They're the #1 ticket marketplace in New York City right now.
Nice.
Because there are no hidden fees.
No hidden fees?
No
you
hidden
sure?
fees. They're still freaking expensive tickets in this economy.
Sure there's no
there's
hidden
no
fees?
hidden fees.
Okay.
I promise. I wouldn't have partnered with them if I didn't. But
Okay.
Wayne Lewis, welcome to the program. What brings you to Phoenix?
Podcast business, stopping by some spots, saying what's up.
It's a great spot to be. I'm actually heading your way here pretty soon. I've been going back and forth between Phoenix and Vegas for the past couple of years recording shows, but I think I'm coming out your way full time here in the new year.
Are you about to be moving Vegas? I think it's a good spot. I mean, you're going out there at a prime time.
Yeah.
Because fucking it's rocking out there. Vegas is fast, but that shit is fast now. It's like everything is rocking out there.
Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from California, LA.
And then when did you move to Vegas?
I moved to Vegas probably like 12 years ago.
Okay, so you're a veteran out there.
Yeah. I fuck with Vegas, yeah.
I originally grew up in New Jersey, moved out here about 7 years ago. But just from connections, I worked with Blue Wire for a little bit, so I used that studio for a little bit. That's where I met Nick and Sean and all those guys. And I just think like the culture out there is awesome. Everybody wants to win. Everybody's hardworking. I mean, you could probably tell, more so on your experience of it, but I just like love go-getters.
Vegas is a place that's growing. So it's always expanding and it's very forward thinking. So it's always adding different aspects, different elements, different things, different attractions, more teams. And we just got the A's.
Yep.
And then they just tear down the casino and put the A stadium right there. The Raiders, obviously, the Knights is balling. The WNBA team sold out, and then we got an NBA team coming. So,
is it going to be an expansion team?
Yeah, it's going to be an expansion team.
Because then the A's are coming in what, 2028?
From what I know,
because they got to build that place first.
Yeah, they're going to build it all the way out. The NBA is going to have a huge welcoming. So I think it's going to be fire.
Because the NBA Summer League's out there already. Which is
it's every
nuts.
year. And we had a G League team too. The Ignite was there too, but they disposed of it. But the Ignite was there for a couple of years too.
And I feel like that community's craving like a really good team to get behind, because before the Golden Knights showed up, there really wasn't any.
We didn't have nothing. We just had the normal pimps, prostitutes, and shows on the strip.
Classic Las Vegas, Nevada.
Classic Las Vegas, yep.
So you're here on podcasts. You're here for business.
Yeah.
A lot of it's intertwined in these days with everybody starting their own brands and their own channels and their own podcasts and whatnot. What specifically did you want to get into starting out? Because you're 35 years old. So you're a good 10 years older than me, which is crazy. Age doesn't matter anymore. But like,
I know when hasn't mattered.
No. I feel like there was always that stigma. Maybe it was just me growing up. You think of like your parents in their 40s, like they're old.
But it's
when
really
you're 12,
not. It's like everything's
you grow
old.
up, okay.
18 is old at 12.
Yeah, exactly. Because I remember growing up like, oh, my parents are in their 40s. Like,
they're old.
And back then they kind of look old. We're like now our generation,
you don't know like a 60-year-old. You're 60? Yeah, look at J-Lo. How old is J-Lo?
She's 55.
Yeah, look.
Brad Pitt's 60, right?
Look at Brad Pitt. He looks 70. You know what I'm saying?
Grant Cardone's in his 60s.
Yeah.
I thought he was younger.
Yeah. So you truly, I think stuff changes. I think if you put an age on anything, you're basically putting up a dead end. Oh, you're this age. Well, then you stop working, you stop thinking, you stop doing stuff, and then what happens to the body? So I think you can never stop working. I think paying attention to age is. It's pointless. It's like it's inevitable. Like everyone turns their age. Like that's easy to turn that age. It's easy to turn 60. It's easy to turn 50. But what are you doing in the interim? What are you actually doing? It's actually what matters.
Because I feel like
age don't matter.
The generation before us and generations way back in the day, 40s, 50s, 60s, you grew up, you got a job, you got a degree, you went through like the motions of things. You retire at 60, 70 years old, and then like you have like that picket fence analogy of like them just like playing cards on the front porch, and that's like retirement.
See, that was a real thing when shit was affordable. Now a picket fence costs just as much as a house, so you got to kind of pick. You want the house or the picket fence?
Dude, 3 items at Sprouts cost like $200 these
easily.
days.
So it's that concept is not really in the foreseeable future. Only thing I see is people continuously working until they die.
So what did you want to do starting out when you were younger versus what you're doing now? Has it aligned with what you're doing, or has it changed over the years?
I mean, I think mine's changed because when you're younger, I wasn't even thinking. Like, I think at one point I wanted to be a cop. At one point I wanted to be fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I wanted to be Wolverine at one point. And Batman, the Hulk. I really wanted to be him. I don't know. It changed. It changes so much. So that's why as kids, I always just let kids be kids. Because you don't know. Life is, bro, we're just on the shit. We're not driving that shit, though.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much. Like, none of us. You can try to take control of it. But
you're in control of like your thoughts, your emotions, how you react to certain things. So those are the things you have to be in control of in order to develop that tough skin and get by. But you're right. You're not in control of what happens.
No, well, I feel like it's already predetermined. I think the universe knows what you are before you do. So it's your job to seek that out.
And just react to it?
Well, become one with it.
Yeah.
And understand that this is your purpose. We're seeds at the end of the day. So we're always like, we have this thing where we're looking for the outs, like looking on the outside. And really it's internally. You should be just paying attention to yourself and who you actually are and what you enjoy doing and what pushes you and what inspires you and what drives you. Most of us are constantly looking for outside gratification when it really comes from within. So who you are is already there. It's already the chip is already programmed in you. You never find it, then you never find it.
Yeah.
It's really like there's no rule to life. Like if you never find yourself, it's not like no one cares because everybody's lost.
Oh, I mean, that's the key to everything. Like you can find yourself, but then you could lose yourself again and you have to refine yourself.
Right.
I mean, the more you grow and the more you evolve, the more you enter new things, the more you're just going to get lost and you have to find yourself again.
Right,
that's just the art.
Right. It's just a part of being
the game.
Uncomfortable. It's a part of the process. So it's just a part of your growing pains. It's being uncomfortable and losing yourself.
At what age did you think that because I feel like everybody will go through a stage, especially young kids, where they try to fit in, they try to do the cool thing, even though it really isn't them. It's not a part of their identity. Yeah. At what age did you just kind of say, fuck it? This is who I think
I've always had, I didn't give a fuck as a kid. I didn't give a fuck. I still don't give a fuck.
Did that type of attitude get you in trouble early
every
on?
day?
Yeah.
It kind of still gets you in trouble with people now, but
well, that's just because everybody's so sensitive to a lot of things.
Well, they're so sensitive, but then it feels like you always have to be agreeable. And everybody's not going to agree with your opinions, your way of thinking, your ideologies. Like no one's going to even agree with some of your recipes, even though both chocolate cakes are good.
Yep. But
your ingredients are different. Some people just don't agree, and that's okay. But I think we're not okay with people disagreeing yet. We haven't reached that point to where it's okay to be different. It's okay to think different. It's okay for people to have difference of opinions. We all live in this place where we all have to agree. Like what's going on with the presidential debate.
Yeah.
People either it's Kamala or Trump, or it's not, or it's like fuck you, or it's like my life hasn't changed. I don't give a fuck what president is in that house. It can be a dog running our nation. It hasn't affected me in no way.
No.
At least like personally, obviously there's an overall spectrum of it changes this, it changes that. But if that's what you're looking for, I'm not looking for leadership. So I don't give a fuck who's in there. And people say, oh, well, this person's racist. Everybody's racist to a certain degree. I hear it from every race. They dislike something about every race on this planet. So it is what it is.
We're in a wild world when it comes to politics and everything, because it really isn't about systems anymore. It's about the people that are running and people are getting behind the people. Like there's a lot of people that don't like Donald Trump just because he's Donald Trump. They're looking for him to say something wrong so that they can amplify
Well, he's been painted as a villain.
He did it to himself earlier on, and I could see why they're using that. But in my opinion, from when I just like I look at the things that he's done versus the things that he said and the way the media portrays him. Like,
well, every president is a villain.
For sure, everybody's looking for the negativity. Yeah, everybody's looking to blame the person who's
every
at the
president
top.
is one to blame. So every single president, no matter if they start off the villain, everybody's a villain. Remember, everybody was rooting for Joe Biden. Now he's the villain. So it doesn't. Everybody's a villain at the end of the day. That's my point. So who cares? Yeah, I don't give a fuck about it.
Well, it's the people that are relying on the government to get by versus like you're a hustler, right?
I think. Are they really relying on the government to get by? Because even if people relying on the government to get by, they're really not getting by. Like the government plays a small factor in it. It's just really, it's individuals that's making the choices. They choose to change things, they're going to change them, whether the government likes it or not. It's just their policies are their policies. Yeah. It is what it is. Stuff changes. Insurance companies are going to change their rules based on who's ahead of that insurance company. That's just how it works. So I don't even.
Do you think we'll ever have a politician that everyone can get behind to actually unite the country?
Fuck no. We can't even agree on if we want nachos or tacos, bro.
Yeah.
What's a better? We can't agree on Doritos. We can't agree on nothing. Men and women can't even agree if they like each other right now. So no. And I don't care.
Yeah.
Because why should I? And people are going to say something about that. Well, you should care because it. Man, I don't give a fuck.
Just focus on what makes you happy.
Yeah, that's it.
Find your people.
That's it. Because focusing on that, I'll be in chaos. I'll be thinking about it all the time. It's not something I'm into, so it is what it is.
I like to be able to close my eyes at night and just fall asleep without overthinking a damn thing.
For a fact. So I don't, if people choose to waste time on that or spend their time thinking about that, then I'll let them.
So what does Wayne Lewis like?
Me.
What brings you joy?
I like me. I like life. I like seeing people win. I like seeing people happy. I like seeing people at peace.
And
I think everything inspires me. I'm really into art. Art inspires me.
Really?
Life inspires me. I think I'm inspired by a little bit of everything. Even people who aren't in a good space or is negative, I'm still inspired by them.
Who would you say is someone who's like in a negative space that you'd be inspired by? And what like about their
I think the world is in a negative space right now.
Yeah.
I'm inspired by it because it inspires me to stay positive. Because why follow what everyone's doing? It's easy to be negative, bro. It's easy to be mad. It's easy to complain. It's easy to do all that. So just choose to do the opposite. Because when has that ever helped? When has complaining ever helped anybody? Or when has being negative ever helped anybody?
Just keeps you stagnant.
Yeah, so what's the point of even being like that? Even if you're not having a good day, still have a good day.
It's such a difficult thing to do in a world where everybody's comparing because of social media and all of
this
stuff.
Well, social media is good, though. It is. Social media is good because it allows you to view life from someone else's lens.
Yeah.
So it's all about how you view it. If you choose to compare that person on that page, that's on you. But if you can view life through them and see how Dubai looks and Bali and them travel and do the things that they enjoy doing, that should inspire you to go out there and experience those things too. You shouldn't be jealous of them. You shouldn't compare them because we don't know what they had to go through to get there.
Exactly.
If you want to live their life, then go through what they went through to get there. You never know if that person was raped, molested, father lost his mom and dad. That's how he came up on that money. Anything.
Yeah.
You don't know if they're part of some kind of, gang or done some rituals or done anything like that. So why would I want to compare anything? I don't want to go through what you went through. I don't know. I'm gonna go through what I go through and get to where you at. That's it.
There are very few people, if any, that have gotten the things that you're envious of, jealous of, or whatever you want to call it, that went through nothing and they just got it handed to them, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has a story. Everybody went through shit.
Well, being envious is actually normal.
Of course it is.
Jealousy is bad because you've attached emotion to it. So that's when you feel like that there's no more room for you. That person is taking your place. So they're doing things intentionally to make you jealous. That's when you've attached emotion to envy. But being envious is actually super, super human.
What was a time when you were younger that you knew you were envious over something and you had that emotional attachment to it, and then you overcame it to the point where you're like,
I've never been jealous though.
Never? You've never gone through that phase of like, that was immature of me? And
I mean, what, as far as fighting and shit?
Just like your emotions got the better of you. And you look back at it and you're like, I was an idiot.
I think,
for that.
well, obviously when you deal with women, but I've never been like a jealous person. Never.
Good for you.
I've never been jealous of nobody, bro.
That you're in the 1% for that then.
I mean, I don't think I'm in the 1%. I think there's a lot of people, I don't know them all, but I'm sure there's a lot of people who's, it's just not in them. Like, why be jealous of you when I could join forces? Why be jealous when we can become a team?
Mm-hmm.
You LeBron, I'm not. I want to play on your team.
Yep.
I want to be a part of a winning team. Because most people got to understand, they'd rather be broke bosses than rich teammates. So if he's winning more than you, don't be jealous. Get on the team. Get money with the people getting money.
Mm-hmm.
Get fly with the people getting fly. If he getting cars, get the cars with him. If he getting women, get women with the dudes that's getting women. Because you're rich by association, you're guilty by association, you're negative by association, and you're popular by association. Those leaves fall from those trees and land on you. That dust falls on your shoulder too. So don't look at it from a jealous lens. Join forces with them. If not join forces with them, shit. See what they doing right and mimic it.
Mm-hmm. So you're just gonna stay stagnant if you are just jealous of
because you're just watching the show.
And worst case scenario, if you want, let's say you're Michael Beasley, for example, you want to play with LeBron, and it's just like not the best experience. It's like, well, you're still winning, you're still learning something. You might not be succeeding in the way you exactly thought you were going to by pairing with LeBron, but you're learning something, and you have a lot to take away from that. Yeah,
just get money with the cast that's get money. Win with the cast that's winning. You don't need to be jealous. Sometimes you guys might be on two different sides, and you may be winning and they may be winning. There may be something you guys are after, so guys do have to compete, and you may be jealous because they beat you out, but you're only jealous because they beat you out, not because of they have more than what you have. It's just you lost in that thing. It should be you holding that trophy, or envious, however you choose to handle that emotion. But yeah, I'm not the jealous type.
It's good. Probably serves you well in business too.
Yeah, I'm not in life in general, because I like people that's winning. I like seeing guys win. I like seeing women win. I like seeing my peers and my friends and my family win, because to struggle is painful, bro. It's a fucked up thing to struggle. So I want to see people win. I don't need to be jealous. Like, you got a bigger pool than mine, then shit, we swimming at your house.
Do you have like specific mentors in your life that
I've had a lot of mentors?
Yeah.
I'm for mentorship, but only, like I said, the right mentors. So they have to, in some way, fit what you're after, and then you pick your mentors according to that. And then they have to fit your learning style and understand you as a person. And then that's how you pick your mentors. And then some mentors, I've had some hard mentors, bro. I hated them, but I didn't understand them until later. So it was one of those, the aftertaste tastes better later.
And that's by design from them too, right?
No, I think it was just by design in life. I didn't get the message today. It came to me later when I was going through what they said I was going to go through eventually. So it was by life design. So I guess, by design.
Yeah. Because it's hard. I feel like it's very hard being a mentor. I can even parlay that into someone who's a parent out there too.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like your kid's not going to listen to you 9 times out of 10.
No,
even though you have the best intentions.
Depends on what kind of parent you are. Most parents raise their kids the way they were raised. You got to raise your kids the way, not the way that you were raised, but raise your kids according to what's going on now, right? What they're into now, what's going on in the world now, because everything is shifting and changing. So you have to raise them according to the times, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Don't raise them how you were raised. Like, y'all was fucking eating porridge and chopping wood. Like that's not these kids like.
Yep.
Where like you know what I'm saying. So it's different. It's we're in a different time. So you have to accommodate how you raise your kids to the times that we're in because shit is changed. It just has,
and it's just going to continue to change
right.
tremendously.
So you have to raise your kids according to the change, not according to how you were raised.
Do you have kids?
Nah, fuck no.
You're never gonna have kids?
I like kids though, but I just ain't had none yet.
You think you'll ever have kids?
Yeah, you gotta stop pulling out at some point, right?
You don't strike me as someone who has like a set plan though. You're more so like with what's in front of me.
I'm more so go with what's in front of me, and what's meant will be there, and what's not won't. You know, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
I don't complicate my life or life and love in general. I don't complicate it because I see so many people unhappy when they try to take control. And you see some people that are, but then they feel like they're not with the person they want to be with, or they're with them for kids. I never want to be with somebody for the sake of kids. Fuck that.
That's a tough thing to do, man.
Yeah, because you're miserable. Imagine living in misery. I don't want to do that.
Nope.
So no.
I mean, there's people that have those set agendas. I'm going to be this by the time I'm 25, this by the time I'm 30, this by the time I'm 50.
And miserable by the time they're 25 because, you know, not allowing the flow of life to flow through you. You have to kind of allow, you want to have control, like you said, of your thoughts and everything like that. But you want to kind of allow the universe and life to you kind of want to be guided in a way. You know, be free though. Be free in how you look at things. Don't have such a tight hold on life because you're going to find yourself doing something you really don't want to be doing.
Yeah.
That's not, you know, it's not a passion of yours or like a purpose.
Yeah.
So just find something that, you know, that it's not temporary, but still try to find yourself through all the bullshit.
Right.
You know,
have you ever found something like something kind of found you like a specific opportunity, whether it's in business or in your personal life that like you really latched onto? Podcasting, which is great.
This is like, I've been only in podcasting for like probably like a year and a half now.
Yeah, dude. Because when you got in, like we were saying,
yeah,
like,
it was like a year and a half. Yeah,
you guys interviewed Gary like right off the bat.
Yeah, February, March.
And in Vegas, there's so many different content creators that you can collab with. So many good guys too. Because it's hard. Like you probably know better than I do. It's when you find good people, you really gotta.
It's hard to
support
find
them
good
and
people.
collaborate with them because it's hard to find good people.
No, for sure. I think podcasting was, I would say, is something that I never even thought I would actually take a liking to. Well, I know I could speak and I got a lot of life experience, but you know, podcasting, as you know, it's tough. Yeah, it's not easy.
It's not just us talking.
It's a science. Yeah, it's a science. So I actually latched onto it and I actually really liked it. So I'm like, okay, I like it. I
mean, like everything Steve does, everything like go back and edit clips for social media. You got to market yourself a certain way. You got to book guests. Some guests want a ton of money. You got to figure out how to finance some of these things. Just the equipment alone is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
For sure. It's not easy.
It's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, it's not easy. And then when you want to be a certain way, when you get picked up by a network, they want you to be a certain way. If you can read off a prompt, you got to read off a prompt. If you like freestyle, they don't like that. You know, you have to adjust.
I mean, look at what Pat McAfee's been able to do with his show.
With Pat.
So, like, you take his show, which is pretty much the exact same thing it is on ESPN, which kudos to him because that's a difficult thing to do with.
Yeah, he was able to, you know, pivot over there but still be himself. I'm sure there's guidelines.
I'm sure he ruffles some feathers.
That's for sure, but
par for the course. With
the
Pat.
Viewership is there. I think Pat McAfee adds a way different element to ESPN for sure. I like him. I like his style
because they go from that style to First Take with Molly, Stephen A, and Shannon Sharp, and like as much as that's been the staple for decades,
it's very cut and dry now.
It's very cut and dry compared to what we're getting with some of these shows,
and I like it. I like the new media.
They're like the disruptors, and everybody's for it.
Yeah,
everybody. Is really cool.
It's something new. Yeah.
Who do you specifically like in podcasting? Because I feel like when you get into a certain thing, you look at the people that are the best at it. First and foremost.
So I studied Joe Rogan and Howard Stern.
That's who I always say.
Yeah, I studied those two, and then my third would be Charlemagne the God, and then my counterparts. I like Gillian Wallow. I like Joe Budden too. Who else? Lex Friedman, but he's boring. I mean,
it's long form.
Yeah, it's very, very like
very
monotone. Well, I wonder what happened to him. Is he still doing podcasts?
He is, yeah.
Lex, and then but my top person is Joe Rogan. I can watch Joe Rogan all day.
He could talk to anybody for 4 hours at a time and really cook someone and get to know someone and get stuff out of them that no one else could get out of someone in an interview on camera.
He be cooking. I like Joe Rogan.
Who
I like myself too. So I'm like number 6.
I'm a pretty good host myself, you know?
yeah.
Do you have like a specific dream guest that you'd want to have on a show one day? Or like someone that you just want to talk to in general?
Yay.
Like just get inside his mind or...
Yeah, I just like talk to him.
About anything, whatever comes up?
Yeah, I just want to chop it up with Yay.
Just go in with no prep.
Yay, and then another one would be, and this is short term, Tory Lanez.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to talk to Tory Lanez. Just because so many people gave up on him. Mm-hmm. Like I would definitely pay for it.
Hear some of those stories when...
No, I would pay to sit down with Tory Lanez to just hear where he's at mentally and like why he didn't, speak up in the trial and like all kinds of shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because, I mean, that takes a lot. Whether it's him, I remember when Logan Paul was going through all of his ish and then he made his big comeback. Like there's a lot of people, like that takes a lot.
I would want to do Trump too. Trump would be like my number 3.
I think Donald Trump.
But I don't want to have like a regular. I want to have a regular, normal conversation with him, not about presidency, but kind of like mixing the whole kind of deal, like just mixing everything in a sense of like live, him, everything.
I mean, he's a big fight guy, big sports, real estate developer. Like, there's a lot of good content that you can get out of him because. Every interview I see of him, like he's very respectful, very politeful, and then some people will antagonize him. Some people are just.
And he handles himself well, bro.
He does.
He's a person that deals with a lot of scrutiny, and he handles it very, very well. He's like a hit me, I hit you back kind of person.
That's what I think of him too.
I like Trump a lot.
What did you think? Did you think the assassination attempt kind of changed the course of everything that we're going to see here in the next few months?
I mean,
because everything kind of changes on a dime in politics.
I think the assassination attempt was the wildest shit to see alive. They tried to take him out, bro. Like, they tried to take Trump out, and it was. I wouldn't. There's people saying that it's staged. So, my thing is, it was staged in the sense of set up. It was set up because, bro, you've been to the airport, right? Mm-hmm. What do TSA do for you to even get on a plane?
I mean, they check for
everything. They undress you damn near.
Oh, yeah.
So they just let a person just, in the CIA, you got Secret Service, you got all these people, like, bro, they would know. They know your face. Mm-hmm. You did something crazy, they would know where you were at, face recognition-wise. This cat is just on there. Come on, bro. Mm-hmm. So that's just my take on it. Some people might disagree, but I just think that it was set up.
Yeah, I mean, in a world of politics, especially in this day and age, I'm not shocked.
Yeah, I feel like it was set up to get taken out, but that's just mine. But I think overall it made him more relatable. I think made Trump a believer. Maybe, it maybe tapped into a certain part of him to where he like, I'm going to really win and I'm going to show y'all. It's a reason why they're trying to take him out and putting Kamala Harris there and her portraying to be a black woman now is like really like crazy. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's wild.
Well, that's why I'm so eager to see this first debate between the two of them.
He gonna crush her. That's like LeBron going against a woman in the WNBA.
For sure. When it comes to policies and just doing the job, he's gonna mop the floor with her.
Easily.
She's gonna play the certain cards to where he's going to look kind of foolish.
Well, yeah, she's going to bring race up. Yeah. She's going to bring a lot of his different policies that he has coming up, a lot of things that didn't change. And, so that's her play. Her play is going to be the race card. She wants to, I know she's going to try to form this like crazy race thing with him. And he done seen that already.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but I like Trump, so.
And he has a lot to say about her when it comes to certain race.
Yeah, what
well.
race she is. Yeah, so it's
even though it's factual, they'll find a way to have an emotional tie to it, and it'll be
right. So I think it's I think it's funny, but again, like I don't care who no one else votes for. It's just that's how I look at the situation. Some people might be like, well, he's a racist, he's this and he's that, and it's just like, well, I mean, shit, everybody racist to me. So
he's a guy who he's the asshole that's gonna take down all the other assholes in Washington. That's kind of the way I see it.
He's the ultimate asshole, and so they don't want that order in there. So it is what it is, though.
I'm curious because it's like if you had like an hour sit down with Trump, you would just go in there, chop it up, whatever comes up.
Yeah, I would just ask him whatever came to my mind. I don't want a list. I mean, granted, they would probably want me to make one, but I would just ask him whatever I wanted. Because
even he would be like, they wanted a list. I don't really care.
Yeah, I would just chop it up with him, just like on some chill shit. I wouldn't even like, yeah, we could talk about politics, but I'm not really into that. I just would ask him normal questions.
So how would you go about, because podcasting is one thing you've kind of latched on to. What some of other business ventures have you kind of taken in? Because as someone growing up, you talk about struggling financially starting out.
No, for sure.
A lot of people do. I've been there. You've been there. We've all been there. And then you kind of get to that next level of like, you kind of figure out what you need to do in order to do certain things.
Yeah.
What other things are you interested in, and why do you think those are the things?
So right now I'm more get into the private equity space, and then I want to get into the development side of real estate, and then maybe there's this company like I ain't gonna shout them out, but there's a company that's like the Chipotle of salads, and I think I like that concept.
Chipotle of salads.
Yeah.
That could be their slogan too.
Yeah.
Are they a popular?
Not yet, but I think they will be.
Okay.
So I want to get into a little bit of franchising, but just just like a different.
You almost have like an eye for things before they catch fire.
Well, yeah, in a way, but just kind of understanding trends and understanding where things are going. So that's where you want to look. Like, if there's going to be a need at this point, or like where's society like shifting to? Because there's always a shift, so lean that way. Don't go against it, because you're going to lose.
I mean, look at the podcast wave. I would say I started mine in 2016. So
and the fact that you're at 1,015 episodes that's big.
You just don't quit, man.
Yeah.
You get cool guests. Like I got into this because since I was a little kid, I wanted to be a talk show host. I wanted to do broadcasting.
Yeah.
I've been able to live that out. And the more you experience things, the more you kind of know what action to take in order to do it full time and continue to do it. And then you get the right mentors that are actually looking out for you and develop those friendships with like-minded people. But yeah, it's hard. Anything in life is hard. You just got to keep putting one foot in front of the other and keep doing it.
No, you got to keep doing it, and it'll pay. You'll get an ROI at some point.
Oh, of course, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be any different. Like, continue to like throw different ideas out there. Like in Vegas, like Blake Wynn's got his celebrity poker stuff, and like
Blake
so many cool different things that people are doing, right?
Yeah.
Which is why I want to get out there too.
You want to just be around the movers and shakers,
You're just collaborating, and they're all down to earth, good people.
Yeah.
Nobody's really like looking for anything from each other.
No, it's just it's getting around the people that's moving and shaking in those creative juices is only like elevates you, what you're doing, so it only motivates you more. So like I said earlier, like don't be jealous, like join.
That's because if you are the jealous type, it's like you're not going to thrive in that area.
Yeah. You're not going to go far because people can sense you jealous. I'm like, bro, you don't ever like, you okay? That's a fine line. So it's like, don't be jealous. Just hop on board. Like your intention is to go out there and to elevate. Like you want to be around the movers and shakers, collab and build and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
You want to be the best podcaster, you surround yourself with the best podcasters that are where you want to be.
Right.
You're not intimidated by them.
Right.
I mean, you can be intimidated in the sense of like, almost like a what do they
You can't
call
be
it?
intimidated by their success.
No, but what is it called? Like imposter syndrome.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you can definitely be like anxious.
Yeah,
like
no, for
I've
sure.
walked into some podcasts before. I'm like, okay, am I going to be able to hold a conversation with this person? You know, but it's like,
well, because everybody's not set out to be a podcaster. You know what I'm saying? You got a 2.5 million podcasts on Apple Music.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, but do you know how many of those make it past episode 3?
I think they say the average podcast lasts like 7 episodes before they quit.
90% of them don't. So technically, it may look like you have 2.5 million podcasts on there, but you really don't. You really got more like, what, say like 100,000 ish. And then 90% of those don't make it past episode 21.
Do you think it's just like the spark to do it just fades quickly? Do you think it's a monetization thing, or?
Well, I think it's people kind of hop into things. That's all.
They half-ass it, half-minded thing.
I just hop into it, don't think it all the way through, don't realize like, oh, I got to see this all the way through. You know, really enjoy it, really like it, enjoy it. You know, it's hard to have a conversation nowadays when you can just get online, DM a chick, and y'all get to know each other through text, however you do that. And you don't have to really even look up at dinner. Everybody's looking down, texting. Like nobody is like the human aspect of like conversation is really not there anymore. So to be able to talk and hold a conversation is actually like cool. It's crazy.
You're different.
Yeah, like you can talk. It's crazy.
Where it's like almost the standard.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it's like even talking on the phone. I'm sure you meet a chick and she ain't used to talking on the phone. She's like, "Oh, it's weird you call me." It's like
I'm a big FaceTime guy.
Yeah, I mean even that.
I need to read body language.
You know what I'm saying? So I think conversation rules a nation.
That is so true, though.
It does.
I mean, there's so many people in this generation that I think I called my cousin last week. She's 13 years old, and I called her, and she didn't even know how to answer the phone because she's never seen that pop up on her phone before, like incoming phone call.
Damn.
So she didn't know what the green or red emojis meant.
Yeah, see?
And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm saying. So I think it's only going to get worse. So I think just, being able to have a conversation is really, really good. And then there's a lot of information in podcasting too. So I think if you're listening for information, it'll be there, depending on the host and depending on how open the guest is.
I feel like every industry that you want to get into has almost like a patriarch or matriarch that has a podcast or at least has a social media presence to where you could follow them and dissect what they're saying. Like if you want to get into real estate, there's the Grant Cardones of the world that has his
but Grant's all about cash flow. Yeah, I like him because he's a cash flow guy. He wants you to make money. He's money driven, and I like that. I think money should be more of the topic of conversation in every household, in every relationship, and in every school. We don't talk about money enough.
Why do you think it's such a sensitive topic? I always say money's a sensitive topic.
Well, it became a taboo, and most people don't got it. Yeah. So money is, the root of all evil. I don't know who made that shit up, but that is a crazy fucking phrase, because it's like, if money is the root of all evil, then have you ever been broke before? You know what that shit, what thoughts come to your mind when you're broke? Like, that's the root of all evil. Being broke and hungry is the root of all evil because you want to do stuff. Like stuff that is illegal. When you have money, it makes you more of what you are, but it's not the root of all evil. But then they say, okay, the love of money is the root of all evil. Okay, cool. Well, they need to say that. But you have to say money isn't the root of all evil. It's kind of the ingredients to happiness in a way. Granted, you can be happy without money, which, getting your lights cut off won't make you happy in this hot ass weather. But if you find happiness in being broke, then that's okay. But happiness and money, the money is in that ingredients because you're able to do things that make you happy, whether it's going to art shows, exploring the world, helping the homeless, feeding the homeless, getting your mom a new kidney or her medication, paying your brother's rent. It don't always got to be about you. But money does make you happy to a certain degree. I believe that there's happiness in making money, and there's happiness in money. It makes everyone's happy. You give a kid $1, he's happy. You can go get some ice cream. You can't do anything without it. I mean, the only thing you can do without money is breathe.
Yep.
And if you got asthma, you can't breathe without money.
Nope. To each their own, too, because you are saying there are people out there that are just content. Like, I don't make a ton of money, but I'm content with what I have, which is completely okay.
Are you content with what you have, or you just like, you're just like, okay, I'll make more? Because being content, you don't really want to be that.
Me personally, I don't think I'll ever be content. I'll always be striving for the next thing. You have to control it.
It's just a moment right now.
Yeah.
It's just a moment.
Yeah, you have to take everything one step. You're not going to accomplish everything you want in life in a day.
No,
you have to take it one step at a time.
Yeah, but you have to know how to get to that goal too.
For sure.
And I think with books and information and mentors, you'll know what those steps look like. But you have to deal with someone who's been already and took those steps if you don't know how to take them or where to go. So I think that's one of the keys too.
I feel like when you're older, you're definitely going to be the guy that's going to be looking for the up and comers. So you're like, you have all the tools, you just need guidance. You need to be pointed in the right direction.
I think even that. So I'm kind of like jaded when it comes to that, because it's like the generations will change so much, and a lot of these kids you can't really help because they don't got it.
Yeah,
some of them have it, but a lot of them don't. They've been desensitized. They don't really want to work no more. For real. So, it's there for them to get it, but what do you want to take? You want to take the long road or the easy one? Both have consequence attached to them, but what consequences, what are you willing to pay on each road? And that's what it boils down to. If the easy road is the road you want to take and you're willing to, pay for those consequences and what comes with that, then that's cool. But then the long road is what you're going to look to in the end, because they both end up in the same place, kind of. Well, one may end up in jail.
Yep.
The other one might end up where he's at. May take him a little longer, but he'll get there. Not to say that he can't, change his trajectory and go the long road, but it's up to you. And that's how I leave it now. I don't really force people to do anything. I don't force feed them knowledge, game, or none of that. It's like, it's there. If you can learn rap lyrics, you can learn how to read a book. You can learn a book. You don't even got to read no more. You can turn on an audio book. You literally don't have to know how to read. You can just. They've set the world up so crazy that you just got to be a good fucking listener. They created audiobooks. Just listen. And most people can't listen. I'm not.
Most people, because there
don't
are
listen,
people,
not can't. They don't listen.
Yeah, they don't listen because people aren't patient anymore, and people don't want to get knocked down. Just the idea of getting knocked down on their ass brings people anxiety today.
Yeah, but you get knocked down every day. Anytime you're rejected by a woman, right? And that's the most micro shit ever. You're knocked down. That's a form of getting knocked down. Anytime you're denied access into a place you want to be in, you're knocked down. Anytime a mom says no to you, you're knocked down. Anytime you've run out of money or ran out of gas or your tire gets flat, that's a form of being knocked down. So regardless of you not wanting to be knocked down, you've been knocked down and you're going to continue to get knocked down. So you might as well take the hardest ones on the chin, because those are going to be your biggest learning lessons and your learning curves, because you know how to get back up. Some people may not get back up, but then you can learn from them on how to stay down. And that's where you don't want to be. So everything has some kind of message or learning attached to it. It's all about how you foresee things and how you view life. You can view it as pudding, you can view it as shit. It's all up based on your perception, not mine. I don't care.
Isn't it crazy that there are some people who have no business sense at all, but they will go out and get rejected by female after female after female? It's like, just apply that to sales.
Yeah, apply it to sales.
Like, right now.
Or they'll go out and they'll start a gang. It's like, bro, you can literally start a network marketing career and would have been fucking good at it. They'll start a clique, or they'll do this, or they can get people to sell stuff, or it's the same energy and the same concept. It's just one's illegal and one's not. You can apply it to something that's very positive, and you can, make something of yourself, or you can do some illegal shit, and I guess you can make some money, but eventually that road comes to an end. You can't be the old guy selling weed. Who the fuck wants to do that?
Oh, but weed
is legal. You can't be the old guy selling crack. Like,
yeah. Different times.
Yeah, we in different times.
Things are evolving.
Yeah. No,
in 30 years, crack's going to be legal. And then you're going to be thinking about the next big thing.
Right.
No, I mean, it's trippy because where was I going to go with that? There's like so many people in this day and age, because I'm sure the consequences, here's where I was going to go with that. The consequences of doing shit that's illegal or even getting rejected by someone like in your personal life, that has more sting than anything we'll get like like if you have a business deal that falls through, get up, you're going to be fine. Like getting rejected by a girl, dude, that messes with your mind sometimes.
Yeah,
that
you think about that shit because you got to see her, you see her, so it all has the same emotion attached to it, the same energy it takes. So I think just applying it to something positive that's going to make you a shit ton of money or not, or you can try doing it to something. But I think that it's just use that same energy and apply it to something that's more productive.
Are you a believer in do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life? Or do you think you got to do the things that you don't want to do in order to live a good life? Or a little bit of both?
I would say both.
Yeah.
Because sometimes what you love, you can't monetize it, or it's
hard starting out monetizing it.
No, I mean sometimes what you love isn't something that you can live on. So obviously you have passions and things that you want to do, but then also pay the bills. Don't ever put yourself in a situation where you're chasing something and struggling. I disagree with that because now you're forcing things to work when really you can be patient, have a work at a place that appreciates you, that loves you, that you enjoy waking up, going every day. It may not be something you want to be there long term, but it's something you enjoy doing. It's cool, and you can still work on everything else on the side. You have to understand that weekends are work days too. You got 52 weeks in a year, so there's 52 weekends, right? There's 2 days there. So although there's 52 weekends, there's 104 days that you can actually work the in-betweeners, right? So work those days and allow those work hours or you working on your passion to add up, because you could use a job as leverage. Sometimes people think you need money and really you just need a job, and use that job as your funding mechanism to fund your actual business that you're doing on the actual side. So as long as you understand how your credit works, you fix your credit, whatever that is. There's a bunch of credit services out there that you can use. Cure Credit is one of them. And understand business and business funding, and how to understand how to set up an LLC.
Yep.
There's funding right there. So you can use your job as your weekly pay, your benefits, and then just work your passion on the weekends. And if your passion starts to build up and the shit gets popping, start taking some days off. You got some PTO, use your PTO. Get those orders out, or get those meetings out the way, get those Zooms out the way, go back to work. You can do both simultaneously. You don't have to be one-dimensional.
Yep.
But it's all about, again, the plan that you have in place and who you're actually talking to, who your mentor is, and are they teaching you the right things? Or the shit that they're telling you to do is actually realistic. Like, the realistic way to do it is like this, so that you have money, your living situation is good, you're not stressing, you're not regretting or resenting your passion or your purpose. You're still happy. You're still good. You're still a good person to be around. You're still pleasant, and you're not a mad artist or a mad construction or whatever it is that your passion is about. You're not that person just so negative and I'm not gonna make it. No.
Right.
Work somewhere that you enjoy doing, and then there's also relatable places that you can work that's closely related to your purpose or your passion. Like there's not it, but it's kind of similar.
Right.
It's similar. So you use that as leverage. That's it. Because, some family members won't just hand you $100,000 or $10,000, but, you put aside $100 a paycheck, $200 a paycheck, do whatever you need to do. There's your money to run your business.
Yep.
Whether it's a lemonade stand, a fucking selling sorbet or a food truck or whatever, it's there. But you have to understand you have the tools already. You're just understanding how to utilize them and where to place it.
A little bit of thinking outside the box and also using your weekends to work on what you're actually going for.
Weekends are holidays, bro. Yep. Walmart's open every day.
Yep.
McDonald's open every day. The only ones closed on Sundays is Chick-fil-A, and I think they even might start to be open. And Sundays and Saturdays are work days too. So if you sacrifice your Sundays and Saturdays, and then after work, if you have no kids, then your 5 to 8 or your 5 to 9 should be working on your passion, either, studying, doing more research, getting better at whatever it is, just working. If you got to spend your days working, I'd rather you be addicted to work than addicted to smoking weed, addicted to video games. Mm-hmm. I'd rather you be addicted to something that's productive and that's going to help you throughout life. It's a part of your journey, but don't spend life complaining about what you're not having or what you're not going to get to when there's days that you can still work.
Mm-hmm. Because it's tough, because you mentioned people who get addicted to the wrong things.
Right,
they're just stuck in comfort. But also, like, doing what you love is comfortable. It's just like, because me starting out,
I think doing what you love is actually uncomfortable.
For sure.
I think doing what you love is actually a lot more uncomfortable than it is actually comfortable, because you want it to last. So you're kind of in this space where it's like, this has to work, or you want it to work. But
right, you almost manipulate yourself into thinking like it has to work.
You have to be obsessed with it, for sure. Yeah. So
because like when I first started out, like I wasn't making anything with this, but it's like, I'm like, I'll get there because this is what I want to do, and you'll make it happen.
Right. But your mindset is different though. Most people, they have to make money at something, and they don't understand that there's going to be a long period of time where you're not making no money.
Yeah. You're
going to lose friends. Your girl's going to, people aren't going to believe in you, and you have to be okay with people not believing. You don't need their belief any fucking way.
Yep.
Their belief don't matter. Because I can believe in you, you can be a complete loser. So what does me believing in you actually matter? Mm-hmm. I fuck with you, you my friend, and I want you to do good, but me believing in you doesn't make or break your life or your success. You can say, oh, you never believed in me. I didn't need to. You needed to believe in you. Mm-hmm. That's it. So complaining about who didn't believe in you is like crazy. It's like, bro, they're not supposed to. I mean, not say they're not supposed to, because if you want to hear somebody believe in you and if that floats your boat, then I would. If you want to hear empty, okay, I believe in you. It's empty though. There's no emphasis on it. There's no emotion attached to it because you want to hear it. So I'll say it. But really, the only belief you need is you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that goes back to wanting outside adulation from other people.
Right. It's just, you don't, it's not going to make or break your life or your career. If you're destined to make it and you're meant to make it, you will.
It's a good nugget to end on right there. Thanks so much for coming on the show. I'm glad we finally got to do this. Because again, I've been following you for like a year and a half now.
I appreciate you.
I've connected with almost every content creator in Vegas so far.
Yeah, for sure.
So I feel like I finally got full circle and got everybody on.
Sometimes that's how life works, bro.
Yeah. Where can the people find you on social media?
You guys can follow me on social media on Instagram at The Creators, THECR38TOR.
And like Wayne, you could use that promo code capital OSHOW20 for $20 off your next order using tickpick.com. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe on our YouTube channel at Jack O'Hara TV.